afternoon, everybody. Kevin Crouch here with South Metro Weather, and I want to talk to you about the rain chances we have today, as well as at least the chance in our area of flash flooding. And it is there. The risk is there. I want to make clear that I don't expect in our area the kind of conditions we saw down in the Kerrville area. Unfortunately, those places do have a pretty heightened risk of flash flooding again today, but for our area here, I don't expect anything quite to that magnitude. As you can see here, we do have showers and thunderstorms across our area. We had those earlier this morning in Ellis County that moved up into Dallas County. So we do have showers and thunderstorms mostly on our southern end here in Navarro County, Hill County. And you can see that some of these are really acting like thunderstorms, summer storms, I would say, where they peak and then they kind of die away and then they kind of go back and forth. I'm expecting off and on today. I don't expect just constant rain. Now, where the flash flood risk comes in is the fact that we could see these go over the same areas. So what we saw in Ellis County this morning was kind of a longer storm that moved kind of slowly, and so it made its way northward and dropped a lot of rain in a short amount of time. So with that going on, we have to look at our southern areas here that are getting rain right now and say, how much rain are they going to get through the day? That may not necessarily manifest in a flash flooding situation. That may make it more gradual. But the thing that a lot of people don't think about, and I think some of this played into some of the problems we saw in the hill country, is that you don't just have to look at the rain falling in one place when you consider flooding. You also have to think about all of the runoff. Those canyons in that part of the state tend to kind of funnel a lot of rain into that area. So there are folks even in our area here who live in spots where you may have a field that is higher up than you are, and then you're in a valley and all of the rain happens to just kind of collect in your yard. It's a similar situation there, and that is one of the things we have to watch for here. That's also why you see a lot of these places that have flood warnings that'll last for a few hours. You notice severe thunderstorm warnings, tornado warnings, those things last for a few minutes, maybe an hour or so. But then you have these flood warnings that last a little longer, and that's why. They're not just accounting for the rain that's falling from the sky, they're also accounting for all of the runoff that can collect in certain places. So that will be part of the concern here. I mean, in Navarro County alone, we have several creeks and streams and a couple of lakes and those kinds of things too. So any of those bodies of water have to be watched in a situation like this. We'll zoom out just a little bit here, kind of give some broader context. So you can see more scattered activity here. Unfortunately, down closer to Brownwood, closer to Llano, Killeen, and yes, towards the Kerrville area, there's a heightened risk of the flash flooding. Let's turn the warnings and everything on. You can see again, for one thing, and we'll go back to this in a moment, but you can see where the watch is in place, and I think the warnings, I was having to do a lot of things with the maps earlier to make sure that things were coming up right and working, so it's not quite showing everything. But you see several flash flood warnings in regard to this area, but again, the flood watch covers much of the hill country, much of central and west central and south central Texas. The closest it gets to here is Hamilton County, Coryell County there, not quite to Waco and Bosque County there, and not quite to Stephenville, but we could see that extend north and east as we go through the day, should that be deemed necessary. Now I want to show you something else as well, and see if I can get this queued up for you. And it takes a few clicks, but just be patient with me. So I want to show you, for one, we have the map here. This is, I got to get a couple of other things off the screen here so that all of this works out. There we go. All right. When you're your own producer and you want to put on a good show, it takes a few minutes to get from thing to thing. So this is called the excessive rain risk map. So when they say excessive rain, that essentially means a flood risk or a flash flood risk. As you can see, this is a fairly new map. This was only in the last 30 minutes or so that this was issued. And so you can see the yellow does extend into western parts of our area. That is the slight risk. It's a lot like the severe weather maps that we have. The highest risk of flash flooding, unfortunately, does cover parts of the hill country there, closer to the Rio Grande Valley. But up in our area, it's a slight risk. Most of our area in the marginal risk. This is, again, just saying that there is a risk of flooding for our particular area here. And as we go forward, I got to make sure that this will cooperate with me. Here we go. So here's the flood watch again. So this is kind of taking the radar off, and you can just see where that is. Again, the closest it gets to our area is from Coryell County to, Coryell County here, Hamilton County, Comanche County, and then down to Killeen, Austin, and then west and south. So it doesn't include our area right now, but I won't be surprised if that is extended north and east to continue to envelop these areas that are getting heavy rain now, and we'll continue to see heavy rain. I'm expecting more rain as we get through the next several hours here, tapering off tonight like it has in recent days. So you notice that it tapers off at night, and then in the morning it kind of bubbles up again. And what's been interesting is the last couple of afternoons, we've actually seen it kind of taper off from our area a little earlier than expected. Today, not sure. This whole thing has been tough to forecast because this low pressure system that we've been watching, if we can go, let's go back to just the radar here. And what you're seeing there, and Chris, I see your question here. Give me just a moment. We'll get to the forecast here very shortly. But if we can get back to the radar here, what I want to show you, and I'll get that, let me see if I can get the watch off of there. That's the thing, is when you're showing stuff on the radar, it's real easy for it to get really busy really fast. But this low pressure system that we have seen across our state is, I mean, it's just sitting here. So that's part of the reason it's made it so hard to forecast, is because, I mean, it kind of can just do whatever it wants. It's not cut, or it is cut off. It's not really attached to an upper level jet stream. You look at the upper levels of the winds and they're not moving a whole lot. So this system is able to just kind of sit here as it has the last few days and dump plenty of rain. This is essentially the remnants of Tropical Storm Barry that moved into Mexico, came up here, and then it's just kind of sat here ever since then. So it's been hard to forecast, but the good news is it looks like after today it finally moves out. Now after today, what we're going to be looking at is the northern part of our state. We may have a complex moving south out of Oklahoma. It's unclear if that's actually going to make it here or not. So right now I just have a 20% chance of showers and thunderstorms tomorrow. It's a little bit of a wait and see situation. Another chance on Wednesday as another disturbance comes through. And then after that, as we get through the days after that, it looks like we may actually be done with the rain as we get closer to the forecast. So I'll bring up the forecast graphic for you here and give you a chance to kind of review that. So here's the forecast for the week. Again, 50% chance of showers and thunderstorms today. We're going to continue to see those throughout the rest of the day. Tuesday, Wednesday, low chances of rain. Tomorrow, largely dependent on whether that system will make it south out of Oklahoma. Wednesday, lower chance of rain on Wednesday. Again, just waiting to see if a disturbance will move through and bring us a few showers. And then after that, we are basically back to business as usual for summer. Temperatures going up again. Today, we're going to be upper 80s, low 90s, kind of depending on how much sun you might get, how much rain you might get. So it is a cooler day today, but we will be back in the mid to upper 90s, and 95 is about normal right now. So that's about what we can expect for this area. So as we get closer to the middle of July, things level out. We get rid of the rain, which has been very helpful, don't get me wrong, but I think all of us are ready for a break here, especially with all of the tragic news. I know crews in Central Texas are definitely ready for a break so that they can continue the important and sensitive work that they are doing there. So we have just a little more rain left over, just a couple of low chances the next couple of days. By Thursday, Friday, we're drying out, and we can get all of that rain out of here, get this very persistent low pressure system out of here, and go about our business. So I want to get back to just the radar, and I know that some questions have come up, so I will take those. Let me get this kind of fixed the way I want it. Get back to local radar, and then I will dive into some of those questions. Chris Andrade, the nephews are going to camp out in Glen Rose this weekend. I assume you're talking about Glen Lake. I love that area. All this rain in the Brazos River, should we rethink that idea with all the heavy rain and flooding taking place? So I have not heard anything out of Glen Rose. Today, we'll have to watch and see what happens. But the good news is that after today, after the next couple of days, the rain really starts to taper off. So I wouldn't make a decision right now. It's a little early. I mean, it's only Monday, and you're trying to make a decision for this weekend. I would wait and see what officials there say. The people in Glen Rose are going to have the best idea of what the branch of the Brazos River that goes through Glen Rose is going to do there. So they will be able to tell you best what they're expecting there. So I would give it some time, give us the next day or two, and let us see what that does. I wouldn't make any decisions just quite yet. And yes, in Ellis County, we do now have those showers and thunderstorms. You can see those starting to pick up pace a little bit as they move into the southern part of the county. So Milford, Italy, Forreston, over towards the Itasca, Grandview area. So just know that you have some showers and thunderstorms headed your way as well, and those continue, of course, actually now moving towards the Ennis area as well. So more rain coming for Ellis County. There's already been quite a bit of rain. We are right at about 1 1/3 inches here at the studio, and so more rain is moving in, and there's been more rain between Waxahachie and Palmer. There was a fair amount, so if you've already had a lot of rain, there is more on the way, so we will have to watch for those flooding concerns. And Abel, yes, this will affect, this is area wide. So all of our area can expect scattered showers and thunderstorms for the remainder of the day. But if you're looking at weekend plans and trying to decide what you're going to do, number one, if you're looking at going, if you're trying to or wanting to go to the Kerrville area to try and help out, take donations. I had that question earlier. What, aside from financial donations, what can we take down there? And what I will tell you is that I would not recommend going really at all. This is just not a situation where being there present is going to help at all. If anything, you may be getting in the way of the important and sensitive work that they need to do down there. So don't physically go down there. The other thing is that when you take stuff, when you're taking stuff down there, sometimes that can create its own problem, because now there's a bunch of stuff piling up. They have to figure out a place to put that. So that will kind of take up resources all by itself, and will cause them to have to dedicate those resources to storing all those things. If you donate financially, number one, that's not stuff they have to manage, and that allows them to manage resources and commodities and those kind of things on their terms. So it makes it so much easier. I'm going to post in the chat here, let's see. I know that we had I'm going to pull up, there was the Community Foundation of the Texas Hill Country that had a fundraiser going, and I know that I looked into that and was able to verify that. So let me put this here. put this in the chat for you. So there are, several fundraisers that have gone out. I want to make sure that we post this link here so that you can see that. Post it on Facebook and on YouTube. That is the link that I recommend you donate to. That is a relief fund for the Kerr County area to give to and help that effort. Again, don't take stuff. That adds to the workload, because then they have to figure out, where do we put all this stuff? And Jamie, yes, HEB also has a link on their page. So HEB has stepped up in that area. They have done a phenomenal job of supporting folks in that area. So that is another recommendation as well. And the Kerr County and City of Kerrville Facebook pages, their social media have been great as well, posting helpful links of where you can donate and support those efforts. But as far as our area, I don't expect anything to that magnitude, but that does not mean that flash flooding is not possible today. It is possible. I will say, for the most part right now, it's the southern portions of our area. I would say southern and really eastern portions of our area at this time. Johnson County not seeing much rain right now. If you're in Whitney to Grandview to Venus, everything is pretty much there, and east is dry. So not much happening there. Again, like I talked about, you can see this little bit of a flood warning there in parts of Bosque County. And you see that there's no rain there, but again, you don't just have to think about the rain that is actively falling. You have to pay attention also to the runoff and how that can affect things as well. So stay tuned to South Metro Weather. I'm going to keep you updated, of course, throughout the day as we watch these conditions continue to evolve. The good news is, again, like I told you, tomorrow we should not be dealing with this system. We may see a complex of showers and storms moving south out of Oklahoma. I don't expect that to be as persistent or repetitive a rain situation as we are seeing today. We could still have some heavy rain out of that, depending on how far south it makes it. It may not make it here at all. It's hard to tell. Sometimes those are hard to call, because those complexes, sometimes they'll completely fall apart by the time they hit I-30. Or sometimes there will be outflow boundaries that'll keep it going. So it's just really hard to call this far ahead. We'll have to watch to see what that does tomorrow. But this system that we're dealing with should be out of here by sometime tomorrow. At least that is my hope. Right now, the forecast looks good for finally getting rid of all of this rain. Marcia, will you point on your map where Kerrville is located? So if you're not familiar with the hill country, I will let's get down here. And it's easy for me to get mixed up too, because there's Kerrville, and I get Kerrville and Killeen mixed up, and there's the Fredericksburg area too. So and it's kind of a dual thing, and I'll show you why I get mixed up. So Killeen is up here next to Temple. Kerrville is down farther south. So you can see Kerrville south of Fredericksburg here. So Killeen, Kerrville, I mentally get this mixed up, but they're on either side really of Fredericksburg and Marble Falls. So of course here's Austin. It's smaller because the big towns on this map get smaller to make room for the smaller towns as you zoom in. But of course here's the Austin area: Georgetown, Round Rock, Pflugerville, Austin, San Marcos there, Johnson City, Fredericksburg, and then south of Fredericksburg, that is Kerrville. And that is where the Guadalupe River goes through, and that's where they had so many of these issues. So if you're wondering where it is in relation to our particular area, here is our area: Cleburne, Waxahachie, Hillsborough, Corsicana, Kerrville down south of Fredericksburg. So that's where all of those things happen. But just again, keep in mind that we can see these flood conditions in our area, we don't have the kind of topographical setup that they have down in the Kerrville area with the Guadalupe River. So that's something to keep in mind. But we do have rivers. We do have the Trinity River here. We have the Brazos River on the other side. We have various lakes and creeks and streams and different things that can affect different aspects of our lives. But that is something to keep in mind there. So stay tuned to South Metro Weather. We will keep you updated as the day goes on. Some areas have seen rain already this morning. As I mentioned, most of that was between Waxahachie and Palmer earlier this morning with the thunderstorm that went through there. But more is coming in from the south. And tomorrow could be more storms, but at least not from this very persistent system that we've been dealing with in Texas for the last several days. More updates are to come throughout the rest of the day. Thanks for watching.
I don't know what it means, but there's a smile upon your face, and I see something shimmering in your eyes. And they say if you want to glimpse the future, you need space. And you said you'll put down